The Late IHP Show with your favorite 5D mystic, Enlightenment functional adult. So we have some new stuff. What is it today? Let's check. The 30th. On the 31st, it's our last day of the 2023 year for those of us who want to continue utilizing our lovely sciences. Some people, they're trying to, take everything that we've learned in academia away, which is okay. It's understandable, since some do not become the gurus and masters of their own alchemy. So here's what's the difference. 5D mystics. We do love the sphere of energy, but we're able to stay grounded in what is a securely attached body. So we learned from Patrick Tihan, I just shared a short from his audio, why childhood trauma survivors fall in love too quickly, and they also fall out of love as quickly. We're going to talk for a second about that, and then we're going to move back into those of us who are 5D mystics. We don't fall in love quickly or out of love quickly because we love consistently, since love is our human nature, when we have what is called integration of the brain. So when you have a organically grown up emotional state, I'm trying to figure out the best words to share how we don't lose our compass. So 5D mystics don't lose ourselves. We stay connected to pure consciousness, Purusha, pure energy, Prakriti. That's because no matter what storm, it's perfect. It hits home right here. And we know how to use our ventral vagal nervous system. So it means if I'm crying, I know it's an emotion. I'm not dying inside. There's a big difference when the self, which we all have, with the ego, are friends. So when your left mode and your right mode are friends of your brain. And that will be, let me grab this one, where we navigate the realms of the heaven and the earth. But see, the heaven, it's a sky of infinite possibilities. What I love about knowing about dark matter and dark energy, and actually being a 5D mystic versus a 4D one, is radical acceptance. It is a 3-year-old whole heart called a differentiated self. I had a differentiated self at my 3 years of age and as a child, but that's because I have secure attachment. So I, either thanks to my twin, who I got to hug a lot because we were put in the crib together, got to activate that ventral vagal again and again and again. And so I felt pretty good to be gooey, ooey, ooey, and in a bountiful of plane of emotional stuff. And so my journey was always with my lovely family and opportunity, and still is, to grow. It's called inner growth. So our protecting the future, 5D mystics, we do that because we know sciences has married spirituality. They really say the same things. It's a brain that is integrated, because we don't need a magic wand, because magic is science that works. So it doesn't delete any of the stories that I grew up with. I grew up with God, Jesus. In fact, Jesus is a person. Esotericism is trying to tell me right now that he didn't exist, which I'm wondering, I need to get my good historians, not the theologians necessarily, like the actual academic historians, just to ask them. Because, there's a bunch of people in the in-between, where are you, that are 4D. So they take mythology and they want to use words that say it's a fact. No. Mythology I learned of King Arthur, of mermaids, of, fairies, and I have channeled guidance and astral travel, so I get it. I know of the depths of the dimensions. Totally beautiful. Teachability, though, when you are hollow, meaning that you don't allow a book to tell you what's true or not. You also don't allow it to be an obstacle. So it doesn't mean that our astral travel and our dreams are not true. So the great thing about an integrated brain and a person who has a whole 3-year-old heart is that we never doubt ourselves. We have radical, again, acceptance with the infinite possibility. In fact, no one can tell a 3-year-old adult or a teenager or a kid, no, you can't believe in it, because they'll say it. We'll say, so that we can get out of that room as quick as possible, and we're going to go dream and do all in one go. So our unmarked trail, oh, is it beautiful? Divine Matrix, it's so much more than what 4D makes it out to be. But that's because they don't know that their magic wand is one of, let me wear the mantle of spirituality, and it's called spiritual bypass. So they don't unmask their true self, the authentic self, when you get to your inner adult who handles your inner child, and therefore is able to be out of a stagnation. It means you don't get angry. If you get angry, you actually know how to keep having a conversation with a person because you know how to adapt. Your brain, it's flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable. Faces. I like the acronym SMART I created. Stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable. Faces is from Daniel Siegel. Now, you can only have faces when you have an integrated brain. So you're masculine and feminine. That's your left masculine. Feminine's your right, because here's where we sit with the unknown, and here's where the self is. Thank you, Patrick McNamara, with the neuroscience that shows the self. Oh, yeah, there's a place in there, and the good trauma experts, too. So the possibility for union, always, it's your brain. It's an integrated brain. However, trauma memory, very important. And if there's charges that are deep, so they call it T1, T2. So here's where a window of tolerance of a person that began life without secure attachment, not going to be really great when that emotional plane comes up, because the reality is at a 0-1 year of age, there's terror. And the terror is something that the implicit memory keeps coming up, because your first 3 years of life, it's all implicit, not explicit, every sensation that arises from your body. So if you don't feel good about being yourself, there's a reason. We don't have to shame, blame, fault, or do revenge like the teenagers do. The power of community is that we're all human beings who have brains. You can use your brain to think. The power of community, when you are resting, and therefore you calm your nervous system down for a minute, and you don't use overgeneralization stereotypes that keep people stuck in trauma, but you use good trauma information and attachment information. So let's go back to why childhood trauma survivors fall in love quickly and out of love quickly. And you can go watch the short, but the gist of it, I'm quoting parts of Patrick Tiahan's short, and it would be that the inner child is running the dating life of the person when they shouldn't, and the inner adult needs to step in and take over. The situation is also wrapped up in the attachment stuff of a person. And that's where the past is your inner child and all the charges that come up, and the present is your adult, which would be only if you can stay calm enough, which means that you can be a conscious lover, which is why you know romance, which is why 5D mystics who are in the Enlightenment, soul age group, and functional adults, we don't fall in and out of love because we're always empowered. We show up fully and completely. So when we actually commit or are in any type of relationship, that's for solo poly people, polyamory, solo poly, but also solo mono, and of course polyamory or monoamory. It's a person who has secure attachment that loves forever. As the Rumi quote goes, we don't know separation of consciousness because we don't make up that we like you. We know it since we're enjoying time with you. And so it's not because of a longing. While those who have an inner child with a past that creates a not secure attachment, they long to actually have someone who supports their sense of self-worth and believes in their gifts, talents. The problem is that they end up in relationships, I'm going to say, that can teach them something, but that's only if they become conscious. And so they're able to focus their attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up in their life, and that they can include them in the reality. But if you're going to dismantle everything again, and join the basically quote-unquote flat earthers, the 4D mystics, the tales of why not to believe in academic sciences and bring together all the different topics, well, you kind of get lost. So 5D mystics, we don't get lost. We bring people together because when you're enlightened and a functional adult, your I love you is a real deal. So consistent, contingent communication. We fall in love, we stay in love, we don't fall out of love because it's our human nature to love. And that's because the whole 3-year-old heart knows what love is, and we try to share that with those who also want to embrace unconditional love. Tune in for more. Have a great night or day.